Hi, I'm Perri for WIGedu, and I'm here today to speak to Sara about her hair loss. So Sara, tell me, when did you start experiencing hair loss?
I think it was around the time I was 17. I had really thick hair when I was younger, so it was kind of a very gradual process in my early years, so probably nobody noticed really but me. But then I would say early 20s is when it really became, I think, noticeable to people who knew me and my friends.
At what point did you decide to seek medical advice?
I think I was like 23. It was right around the time I was going to get married, so I was really feeling self-conscious about it. So I made an appointment with a doctor who was supposed to be this really great doctor, and I couldn't get an appointment. He was booked up, and I think that my wedding was in like 2 months. So my mom called and begged, this is an emergency, my daughter is experiencing this hair loss, and can we come in and see you? So I went in, and I think I was there with the doctor for a total of about 12 minutes, and he was extremely cold, and he looked me over and he said, "Oh, it's classic pattern alopecia, female pattern baldness. It'll just keep getting thinner and thinner as you get older, but this isn't an emergency, and have a nice wedding." And I just remember thinking, you just told a 23-year-old girl, that she's losing all her hair, and you don't think that's an emergency?
Totally disconnected. Wow. What did you do after that?
After that, I just, I felt like because he had said there's nothing you can do about it. And,
did you pursue educating yourself after that?
I didn't. I was.
Where can you?
Well, he scared me so much because he said, there's nothing you can do. It's just going to keep getting progressively worse. But like I said, mine was so gradual that I kind of was able to sort of hide it for the next couple years, but always in the back of my head, it was this fear of, oh my God, like what am I going to look like in 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, and yeah, so it was a long time from that point before I really had to do anything about it.
Initial doctor's appointment. At what point did you begin advocating for yourself?
I think when I had my first son, I was 29, and I just got to the point where I didn't want to do things because I felt so bad about myself, and it was affecting my relationship with him because I didn't want to go to play dates and I didn't want to take him certain places, and I saw that it was really affecting him, and I didn't want that for him.
So now that you've recognized that your alopecia was affecting your family life, what did you do?
Well, I had always thought, my worst case scenario was, oh, if it ever gets so bad, I'll just get a wig, thinking that was like the last resort, the absolute worst case scenario. And I just was sitting there one day and I thought, it doesn't get much worse than not going out with your sons, or wanting to live your life. So that's when I decided I would try to see what was out there and see what options I had.
What did you think about wigs before you began researching them?
I thought they were like that typical wiggy looking, not natural, everyone would know, just looks strange kind of thing. So I was really hesitant to try that option, because for me it was sort of like, when I absolutely give up, then that's what I'll do.
So you traveled from Maryland to New York in anticipation of buying a wig. How did your experience go?
The ride up was very hilarious and scary. I had one of my friends drive me up, and I was really nervous. I didn't know what to expect, so she made a playlist of songs that had the word wig in it. So we listened to that all the way up.
How many are there? I need that list.
Yeah, there was a bunch. So we were kind of laughing and joking, and she was trying to help put me at ease. But I didn't know what to expect. So then when I walked in, I was still really nervous, and I met Erica, and she sat me down and said, "Why are you here?" And I instantly started crying. And she came over to me and she took my hands and she said, I understand how devastating this is for you, but I want you to know that, it's not as bad as you think, which gave me hope. And she said, you know, I'm going to show you something wonderful and we're going to help you.
In 5 minutes, she did more than a doctor's visit did. She validated you. She put you at ease.
She
and
did.
She gave you a positive outlook on the future.
She did all those things. Exactly. She made me feel like it was okay to feel as sad as I was feeling. And she gave me hope that it was going to get better.
So overall, how do you feel about having a wig?
It's been totally life-changing. I mean, before this happened to me, I felt like I was a really outgoing, sort of exuberant person, and when it started happening, I sort of became much more reserved and withdrawn, and so this option has just sort of given me that piece of my personality back. And I don't wear it all the time. In fact, I would say I wear it less often than
initially.
Right, but just knowing that it's there it just gives me hope about the future. I don't feel so scared about what am I going to look like, 5 years from now, because I know I have this wig at home that looks great and I feel good in. So it's
just pull back the security blanket just in case.
Right, exactly, yeah.
For other women with alopecia, what would you encourage them to do?
I would just say, be hopeful. There's hope. You don't have to feel like, your life is over and this is the worst thing that's ever going to happen to you. There's options for you that are great, that look normal and make you feel normal. And so be brave and just, search out those options.